help others give who maybe are not giving at this time, and to maybe give a little bit more, to help, again, to help Mosque do more of what we're doing. I say they, but I mean we're doing. This is the ministry of Imam W. Mohammed. And if it's not on the top of your budget list for being a philanthropist, if you're Muslim, then we need to encourage you. As a matter of fact, Salahudin means encourager. And so I would tell the students when I was subject to it, and I said, I can't help it. You know, that's who I am. I'm an encourager. So that's what we want to do. That's my idea of this project. Imam Mohammed said back in 1987 that Allah wants us to grow into a situation where we are not dependent upon society, but where many of the members of the society can come to us when in need. Allah wants us to grow out of dependency where we can help those who are in situation of dependency. That is what Allah wants for us. And so that's what we want to grow into. You take, well, Katrina, I went through Katrina, so you all know what we went through. But if you just look at Harvey now, when the government or whoever it is have programs to help others, we want them to mentally know that Mosque can be counted as one of the organizations or members that are helping. Now we can count on $5 million from Mosque. You see what I'm saying? That's the feeling we want to have, and we want to put our little pennies together to be able to do that, and it can be done. We were looking at the eclipse, and we all talking about it, and one of the Imams said that it just shows you how something little, small, can get in the way and block something so huge. So we may be considered as a little mind pop, whatever people consider, but we know who we are.
Yes.
You know. So if the Prophet ﷺ started off with a few people, with the knowledge, the Quran, and changed the world, especially the peninsula of Arabia, in 23 years. Now look, we have all of the knowledge available to us that he had, and he lived it at that time, but we have the information on all of the scholars who also lived it. So shouldn't we be able to, we said we follow Muhammad, and Imam Muhammad emphasized that to us through every lecture. Shouldn't we be able to accomplish something of what he accomplished? We said we follow Muhammad. So this is the idea here that we have for this project. And again, I'm just going to give you sort of an outline of it. Now, we say Hagar, and as I said, I've found that in the spiritual world, the interfaith world, in my sojourning, say in the New Orleans area, they do not give the proper reverence to Hagar. Now, I'm not going to go over her story. I just have a little brief history of it, but we all know it. We know it, and you can, press the button now. They said it's in your hand. Press a button, you can find out whatever you want to know about her. But one thing for sure, we know that you cannot make Hajj and not take that journey that she took. She got to be extremely significant in our history, in our lives, and so this is why we said she's important to us. And again, I just have a little brief history on her, but I don't think, speaking to the Muslims, that I need to go over her whole history. What I'd like to see us do is to develop programs that will raise money, but also raise the, I don't want to say status, but the way, we know what is Islamic phobia that's out there. Sometimes you got to be careful who you say you're Muslim to. but we want to raise the consciousness of the whole people, starting here in America and around the world. So we want to develop programs that would do that. A membership drive. And I want to say too, we don't know at this time exactly how this works, because we have to go through all the legal channels, because this is a Mosque Care project. So we can't get out there and say, oh, we're doing this and we're doing that. No, we're doing what Mosque Cares, the organization approved for us to do. But a membership drive would be one of the ways that we can raise money. Also, we could start with something like a change drive. I bought some stuff at the Goodwill the other day, and they had this cute little sign saying, you know, round up. If you buy something costs $1.20, you buy something say $4.50. Instead of them giving you 50 cents back, you round that off to $5. And so that goes to the organization. And they tell you on there what this helped to do. This will train so many young people or whatever. So I think with a change drive, we will come up with something like that. We'll have to get it worded so we get a change. Because we know that's change drives going on all the time. As a matter of fact, my husband is so obsessed with change. He just puts change in a drawer as soon as he gets ready to go somewhere. He's getting his change. I said, sweetheart, just let him give him $1. You know, don't worry about having. If it's $1.98, he's looking for 98 cents change. You know, but we want to. Again, when we do this, we're putting our work on not just our consciousness, but our actions. You know, just going in your pocket to get change. You thinking about giving and Mosque Cares and this project. So we'll have to develop it. Also, I had on the list a quilting club. I got to show you this. I was going to try to hang it up like on the line. You know how clotheslines work. You can hold that for me over there. Yeah, this is a close. If you can imagine this as. Okay, all right. So we don't have all of our props today. We're going to get professional. No. Because I'm a believer in props. You know, I said, like, you know. Okay. I want to show you all this. This is an idea that I presented. I had a group. There was a group I was president of, the Society of Muslim Women. And I proposed that we do a quilt. And it wasn't anything new. I saw a quilt in the Capitol building in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. And every state sent in a patch for that quilt. And I proposed at that time, this was 2000, to Muslim, I proposed it and Muslim John covered it for me, that this quilt would show that, say, in the 1930s, there were no places of worship for us to go to publicly, from whoever was practicing Islam. They wasn't practicing it and inviting us to it. But when I did this, there was a masjid or center in every major city in the United States. And so this was my quilt. And look, I grew up with my grandmother making quilts. I had to pay money to go to a class to learn how to do this. I said, this is ridiculous. And it wasn't one of us teaching it. You know, and right now, if you look at the quilting programs, they are around the world. You know, well, anyway, with the quilts. So I asked each sister, I asked every state to send in a patch. Okay, so I have this one here. I done forgot where she's from. It must be somewhere on here. And you see, well, the patch was to be, it could be just a regular patch, but somewhere on there, either write your state name or your masjid's name or whatever it is to identify your states. And these were the quilt patches that I got back.
That was recently, sister? You've been doing this for a while, the quilts?
I proposed it in 2000.
In 2000, okay.
But it never really.
That's beautiful. That is excellent. Can the Mosque Cares
Yes,
connect
this is
with you and we
Mosque
help
Cares.
promote that?
This is one of the projects I said.
And this is a trend. There's a lot that can be very profitable, lucrative.
It can be profitable.
Because those are very expensive. I've looked for quilts because I grew up with a quilt that Sister Kareem, Brother Imam Darnell Kareem's mother and father made. Is a really high quality. That is a quality quilt. Like that reminds me of that one on the end.
Yes.
And it's very detailed. And I keep it. I've had it since I was a baby, and
Yes.
I have it at home now. And it's one of my prized possessions.
And the hand sewn quilts are more valuable than
Hand
something
sewn.
you do on a machine.
That's why it's my prized
more
possession. It's
valuable.
it's
Thank
almost
you, brother.
priceless.
Yes. So we're gonna. That's one of the
Inshallah.
things we're
Yeah,
going
great.
to promote. And what I'm.
And I want my daughter. I have two
Yeah.
daughters, but my little one, I want to start her early.
What I
inshallah.
thought was, when we're talking about circles, and everything just keeps going around and around for me. The circle of the workshop we just I wasn't able to stay for.
Oh, yeah.
But I would like to see a circle of quilting clubs in every masjid or a center or home or whatever it is. You know, so that now, because whatever we do, we want to start creating this coming together. Like, you know, Friday Juma reminds us that we gotta come together. It's the gathering. So come together, however you do it once a week. If you have, you can have a fundraiser using the quilt to show not only the Muslims, but they're just so much, but I'm gonna move on from that. Okay, another project that I thought about was the attribute cards. Now, I've been trying to get this one off the ground for the last 10, 15 years. If you see in the window there, before we got it a little crowded, I have 3 cards there. But on the, what I had proposed, and again, it takes time sometimes. You gotta revisit and rethink and redo. We would get these cards. They're very inexpensive. To mail out a card like this, maybe 30 cents. Now, you can't go to Hallmark. Now, you might be able to go to Hallmark and get something you might think is more beautiful. But what this says, you're not gonna find it at Hallmark. Allows attributes, self-sufficient. But we would get these cards, and on the back, when we send these cards out during the month of Ramadan, it's only 30 days. Every believer around the country will get 30 cards and send out 1 a day.
Wow.
So if you send these out through the mail, now I know they do some really beautiful things on Facebook now, because I get them from Imam Wallace Mohammed here. These beautiful things. But I want this to physically go through the mail. I say we. I say I because. But we want this to physically go through the mail. That the mailmen are so familiar with this. Whenever they see some Arabic somewhere,
It's not frightening to.
it's there. Oh, I saw that. I saw it in the mail. We would send out a card saying, this one would have said, I had proposed it last year, come join us at Mosque Convention, peace and blessings in this spot. So for the convention in New Jersey, we would do this during the month of Ramadan. Every able-bodied Muslim in the country would send out 30 cards. If you know anybody, look in the telephone book and send it to a business, Muslim business, who would appreciate getting it. As a matter of fact, there'd be so many cards going through there that we would change the economy of the post office. You know how they always saying they don't have enough money, they gotta raise the stamps? They said no, like Mansa Musa did when he went through to Mecca, giving out all that gold. He said, what is going on? You know, all these cards, you know, we've made a profit this month. You know, and inshallah we can do that over and over.
I want to personally partner with you on that because we've been so convinced that the internet is going to change everything. We cannot let go what we know works.
No.
The greatest results I get is when I send out physical mail. And I want to partner with you on that. And if for any reason you need financial, I will purchase, I'll pay for it. All you have to do is let me know. No questions asked. I'll pay for the mailing, the tickets and all that. Or just save the receipt, you mail it, and I'll pay, I'll reimburse it.
We gotta do it.
Okay.
You know,
We gotta
deal makers
do
here
that.
this morning. We got a deal.
If we don't invest in ourselves, we're not gonna
That's
grow.
true.
We gotta invest. And so
Wait.
what I'm doing, I'm not this ain't charity. This is business.
Yeah.
I'm trying to grow the Mosque Cares, and I will go in my pocket. I go in the Mosque Cares pocket, and we're gonna make this happen, inshallah.
Whatever we do, we sometimes have to go in our pockets. I've promoted things around that we did. For instance, the cards that I got. I think most of you all saw them.
And that's how I get Allah blesses me when I do that, and I get more,
Oh,
and I can go deep in my
We had one
pocket.
of the sister would have one of the cards. I had many of them. I don't know where I put them now.
You need one of these?
Charity
These.
is really
Okay.
a gift for the
These-
one giving
these-
to charity.
these cards that I
Allah
put out.
blesses you with them.
You know, I didn't ask the committee for money. I got this card approved from Mosque Care, but then I went to the printer and said, you know, give me these cards. I need this today. Now, I'm not looking for anything from this project, but to help our community to grow. I got it right. Another project will probably be in the future, a gala. I mean, a gala that would rival, what is that, award shows or something like that?
Academy Awards.
Academy Awards, yes.
That's what
Yes.
we need.
Yes, but this would need to be sponsored by some of our more fortunate. But we have to find a way to get to them. And I like what Booker T. Washington did. He would do some work, and then he would go to other philanthropists and say, this is what we're doing, help us to increase this. So we gotta kind of do some work in the next couple of years, I would say 2. And look, this is what we're doing. We go to our brothers with deep pockets, you know, really deep, and ask them and ask everybody else. Elijah Muhammad said, you know, get it out the fish's mouth. Get it out the brother pocket or something like that. So I'll remember it for
Best
the next
pocket.
time. Best pocket, you
Yeah,
know.
best pocket.
But, you know, just go to other people. The last thing I want to say in terms of projects that I want to propose. This year, for our family reunion, Nasheed and I, his aunt, asked him to help to make sure the family reunion happened. And so he said, okay. Now, this is a man, Nasheed, my husband, who, when we accepted Islam, we were like blackballed. Is that what they call it? I mean, nobody wanted to have anything to do with us. They laughed at us, and you talk about laugh, especially his family, not my family. Not talk about his family. He was here. I will talk about it. You can imagine me, you know, we were young when we accepted Islam, and then I put on my white hairpiece and my white suit, and oh my goodness, I felt like a queen. But oh, when they start, and I tell them now, if y'all had money for every laugh that y'all have laughed at us with, you all would be rich, very rich. Because they sat around that table and did their laugh. And I said, look at us now. We had 3 children, and then we added the 4. I mean, girl, you crazy. You went to school, got a degree in accounting, and now you're having all those babies. Oh, but look at my boys. My mother-in-law tells me, she said, Irene, girl, you know, my children are the only one not alcoholics. And they're good people. Good people. I mean, my mother-in-law just made 100 the other day.
Wow.
In February. She loves me. You know. But anyway, we had the family reunion, and we put together this booklet. And actually, we did one 20 years ago, and I told him, I said, look, we gotta improve. The young man who was scheduled to do the book got overwhelmed and could not do it. I say complete it, but he couldn't do the book. The only thing he did on this book was the cover page. And it wasn't what we had discussed in the reunion. The cover page was to show the living members, and then the other This, the one that's on the back. Well, I knew that if I didn't do it, it wasn't gonna get done. Not that look, I have ideas, but I don't have no technical skills. I get so scared of the computer sometimes. Oh, as a matter of fact, I had a problem printing up my tickets from the email. I said, they should have just sent them to me.
You know what? We just, this how I know Allah's working with us. Your conversation today, this is a conversation I had with my wife at the table. I said, we're going to mail people their tickets if we have to go 6 months ahead of time, because some people want their tickets in hand.
Yeah.
So we have to, and everybody ain't on the internet. We're going to cut our own throat going to the internet's going to do everything for us. So we're going to start back mailing. It's work. You got to stuff envelopes. You got to do this. You got to put a stamp on it. But that's the way we have to do it.
We can figure that out too. We're going to have to do it, because I hate having to go to the internet. I could have printed them up at home.
Right.
But I'm thinking about, I got to give this talk, I got to do something else, I got to do something else. I just forgot, really, and had all kind of trouble here. But anyway, I want to quickly say this. This is the book that we put together. This is my mother-in-law that's 100. I'll leave it here in case you all want to see it. And other things. But I had begged the committee, I'm not going to say ask, I begged the committee to put ads in this booklet so that it could pay for the book. You know, $50 a page. Now, they didn't do that. But anyway, I had got my children to put ads in the book so that it can happen. I didn't know they weren't going to do it. But anyway, here you see my son, who's the Colonel Sister Salahudin, and his family. And then there's some other pictures, but if you look through the booklet, it looked like, well, my son-in-law said, oh, that's a Salahudin book. You know. That's the speaker for tonight. Put an ad in there for him in the book. I was putting everything I can put in there. My son that's in business, my little grandson who said he wants to be a Hall of Famer, you know. I sent one to Robin, so she should have it. I don't know. Maybe she didn't get it.
You sent, that cover looks familiar.
Yeah, I sent it to her. You know,
you sent that a while ago, like what?
Yeah,
A couple?
3 weeks ago.
Yeah. I'm gonna go back and look at. You know, it's our house.
I know. It's like mine. But one of the most important thing about this book is the reason I wanted it, because here it has the family history. Okay, it starts with Nasheed's great-grandfather, Kojo, and then his children after that. And all the way through here is, you know, say like Nasheed and his 30 or so in the downline. It was 8 of them. Every child, every member is in this. This is a wonderful history.
Wow.
100 years from now, when they look at this or go on the computer and
Right,
find
they
it.
can look each other up.
Yes, they can look each other. We'll make it easy for them. Like I said, make them lighter to lift. That's what I say on that card. You know, lighter to lift. You know, and so this was the book, and my son had made a birthday that week, and so he had gone skydiving.
Wow.
And I surprised him and put the picture in there, and he said he didn't know. He was shocked when he saw it, you know.
Does he count his jumps?
That was the first and last, I think.
That's all I was curious. Because some people have done it thousands of times.
I think
that would have been my first.
I think that was the first and last. And it's in the back of the book because the book was supposed to be done in black and white.
I don't have my glasses on, so I'm gonna take a picture.
Well, I can say
I got the book though at home.
Okay, I sent it to
now I'm
Rob.
gonna look for it when I get home.
But this is the back cover of the book. Remember I told you the family members were supposed to be on the front?
That.
Yes, and then the back cover. So I was trying to find a way to put the family members in the book without using too many pages, because the printer was charging me.
Right, especially color.
Well, no, it was going to be in black and white. Only the cover was in color. And so my son designed this page for another son, Rashid. He's in here somewhere, Rashid. He designed this. This was a miracle. I had 2 weeks to do it with no cooperation. Now she can bear witness. And so he designed this page for us. And so when I saw the book after it was completed, I said, oh my goodness, this book gonna have to be in color. So I went to the printer that day and I asked him, I said, now, I know what you said, I think it was around $800 to do it in black and white with the number of pages that we had in a color front. I say, well, what is it gonna cost for me to do it in color? Because I don't usually ask ahead of time how much it costs. If I know I want it, only way I don't get it is I just don't have the possibility of getting it. My husband is different, you know. I mean, how much that cost?
You mind me asking, when's your birthday?
September the 26th.
September 26th.
I
I'm
was-
November 3rd.
Yeah.
Your personality sounds a lot like mine, real close. And people like her, she need like a
I know
backup. When
that-
she gets inspired, that's a lot inspiring her. That's what do you call it? Yeah, I said the right word.
Intuition or
Inspired.
whatever.
Inspired. She has a gift. It's an inspiration, and you should support her. I know you do. Let her do what she want to do and support her in it. Because they come in bouts. Mine's come in different seasons, different times of year. I'll get inspired to do something, and I don't let up, and I never regret doing it.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
You can really help us. And you, yeah, I know a lot.
So
You got the Mosque
Yeah,
support. So if
yeah.
you need money to do things,
Yeah.
if Allah inspires you to do something to help the community, I'ma help you, inshallah.
again, we could ask every
59
family.
years.
We've been married 59 years.
He know what she got.
But anyway, we can ask every family, if they have a family reunion, put together something like this. If they don't, if they have something better, share it with us. Or if not, do something like this, where you got your whole family history in a booklet like this. Now, when I asked the printer, and he had told me I had to give it to him 2 days ahead of time, I had to proofread it 2 days ahead of time for him to print it.
Yeah.
I brought the material to him on Thursday, and I proofread it Friday morning after he had done he made changes in here, set
Yeah.
these things up correctly for us. You know,
It's a new day we in. That's another thing. My wife, she experiences the same thing that you experience. And I said, how they do that? And I'm thinking, we got a deal. I said, we don't have time to do that. How you going? She said, the book will be here on time. I'm sitting there sweating, can't sleep at night. And I'm like, where the book? Where the program?
I
said,
didn't
we got
sleep
all
for
this.
2 nights.
Yeah.
So,
But the technology
yes,
now has
yes.
allowed us to do this.
and he does wonderful work for me. All the things I had sent him, he did them. His
Oh, yeah.
printer, KG. But anyway, I'm standing up there to his desk, and I said, well, how much would it cost to get it in color? I said, it's Friday, and I may have to run to one of them cash loan places, what they call them. You get
Get the
cash.
money, yeah.
You get
10
10-day loan. Or whatever it is, because I know it's gonna cost $800. The committee has only approved $800. And I said, what is it gonna cost to get it in color? I just can't bring this book in black and white, you know. So he said, okay, it'll be $880. I said, what? What?
Yeah.
100 books, $880.
$880.
$808. We had
So that's
$80.
like that's
$80, $880.
$880. That's like a little more than $10 a book. That's not bad. That's good.
You go try to get one
You
reprinted.
can.
Yeah.
1,600.
She got 100 books.
Try to get one reprinted. Just reprint it. You're not gonna get the same quality.
No way. No way.
You know. But anyway, we brought the books to the family reunion, and we've never had a problem with books. So, because some of them said, well, look, only give me one, we gonna share, and only give me 2 or 3 because it is not. Once the book was passed out to each head of the family, and now she was sort of in charge of that, they kept coming to him. Where's my book? I changed my mind. I want the book. I gotta have a book. He ended up giving his children books away that night. We went home without a book.
Maybe they put them ads in next time.
Oh,
Inshallah.
they will put them in. But that's the other project that I think that we can pursue. This may not happen overnight, but we can encourage. Again, like I said, Salahudin means encourager, so we just encourage, you know. All of the activities that I talked about connects us, bring us together. It has small gatherings. It keep us thinking about each other, or whatever it is. It has doing this work on our minds, and that's what we would like to do. I feel very strongly about this, and we can, look at it carefully and see, we've already said that some of what I said, I'm partnering with Mosque to do the attribute card. This has been a love of mine.
And we need something. I've asked, I don't know if you heard me, but I've asked for it, but I can't, my wife, she do so much, I can't ask everything. But my father, it was his desire that the Mosque send out cards. So if you have an e-card, a suggestion for us, then the Mosque, we should send out, at least to those closest to us. The Mosque, I would like to send cards with my signature on it,
Yes.
Inshallah.
Yes, yes. Well, we're going to do that. Our time is running out. I wanted to have time for questions and your thoughts, and but we're going to follow up. Oh, I didn't even have a sign-in list. You'll get a sign-in. Okay, could you pass it around, your name and your email address? Yes.
Would you mention what the donations are on, to help out? I know you mentioned the children and the needs.
Yeah, but all of it will go to Mosque Cares to do, because whatever Mosque Cares does helps family and children. And then again, that's what we would, look at the legal team with the guidance, and maybe I don't know, I'm just throwing a thought out there, 50% goes directly to Mosque Cares, maintenance of whatever, and the other 50% can go to the little special charities we got. But I'm just saying as a thought, I don't know. But whatever it is to make the ministry more successful. And I don't want to say in competition with the bigger organization.
What's the language of it again? I didn't hear what he asked a question about. The language of what he's asking about the charities?
Yeah, how
The
Hagar's project, what the fundraisers would
Oh,
go
Hagar's
directly to.
fundraising?
Yes.
No, great. No, that's good. It should have its own name and its own, what do you call it? Attraction.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because the language would attract the people.
Yes.
Because, the ministry is one thing, but we need all type of support that we can get. And, it just makes sense. It makes a lot of sense.
Yes.
Because people support the ministry, but that would attract new people.
Yes.
Hagar's children will attract new people, and it's a universal message. We all identify with the
Right.
ritual at the Hajj.
Right, and that's what I said earlier.
Yeah.
They may have people who
Who wouldn't
Don't-
even hear the
wouldn't even hear
Mosque
the-
ministry. After you ring that bell so many times, you don't hear that bell no more. Because I got a alarm that goes off
Right.
on my sump pump in the basement, and I haven't fixed it. I need to call somebody to fix it. But if I ain't in the basement, I don't care. But when I'm in the basement now, it used to bug me, and I get out of the basement, but now I don't even hear it.
And I like the name because it's so international.
Yeah.
I mean, we could attract Muslims to help in this project from all around the world.
It has a ring to it.
Yes, as a matter of fact, I see Nasheed and I going around the world and, just asking people. We wanted to do that for quite some time. That's been one of our dreams, So all of this will be developed, and from this point, we'll get better. And, we put all of our minds together. And so what I'd like for everybody to do that's here, that's interested in working with the project, then we will contact you. We'll probably have a conference call since we live all around the country. Most of us in Louisiana. And Louisiana had a nice showing out here today, too. Yeah, there was 8 or 9 of us.
Don't forget me.
Okay.
I'm
You
proud
being here this morning or today, but
for this convention.
for the convention, yeah. Maybe
There's
whenever
9
you
of
want,
us.
you can have them raise their hand, and I take a picture.
Okay, all
Yeah.
right.
Or if you catch them all together, we take group picture, inshallah.
Yeah, and I think that's significant because to drive,
It's
we're
really
16
important.
hours away
Wow.
to drive.
Yeah.
And we took the train,
This is a
which was
historic
18.
moment.
This
Yes,
is,
it
they
is.
drove,
Yes, it
they
is.
drove through the hurricane.
They drove
Yeah.
through the hurricane to get here. You know, there was 6 of them and the other 3 of us
And
came
my
along.
wife, I was asking her, what she been hearing out there in the air about how our community is doing with the hurricane. And she said she heard people are still coming, that they in their cars, they on the way, and minimal damage. We haven't heard about anybody in our community that suffered really any, any irreparable damage. That some of them used to floods and they know how to deal with them.
Yeah.
And that made me feel good coming to the convention. And that's
Yes.
a lot.
So I just want to thank everybody for taking the time out to come to hear this presentation. And from today until you hear from us again through your email or whatever, just make dua that this is successful.
Yes.
Just every dua every day, or however you do it. Just make dua that this program is successful because it's time,
Yes, it is.
Not only that we succeed, but we succeed in a way that the world knows.
Mm.
They know of us, but we want them to know us, and we want history to show.
And just let me know whenever you do a mailing. Let me know. I'll reimburse, or I'll take care of it right over the spot through the electronic pay and stuff like that. And let us know what we should send out. We have over 5,000 followers on Facebook, and we have a huge email list. So we'll use that facilitation to get the message out, inshallah.
Yes. Okay, again, thank everybody. Be sure to fill put your mailing address on there. Nasheed, you wanted to say anything since you're here with me? That is my better half.
What?
He is my hero. I'm not bragging about him, but this brother, as a young man, under the honor of Elijah Muhammad, got out every day with those Muhammad speaks paper, knocking on doors, being bitten by dogs, neglecting us, at least for 7 years. And I say, I tell the children, that's your hero. He didn't have guns out there. They couldn't carry anything, you remember? If they was found with something, they had to be reported to the honor of Elijah Muhammad. A pin knife, So, and then a lot of people have said, well, what y'all gonna do? And she said, I'm old. You don't find no old men on the battlefield. The young men have to go on the battlefield. So we have to do things that encourage the young men. So you wanted to say something?
Well, I think at this juncture, especially at our life, we like to see our last days, our best days, and it's like a new beginning. Everything. We see the civil rights movement, the work we done. It's like it's been undone. It's like we're starting all over again.
Yes, sir.
So that's the cycle of life. We always got to be prepared to start all over again and try to absorb the energy to be able to do that.
Yes.
Because, I didn't know I had to reach back and do what I did before. Like Muhammad Ali, a guy asked the guys, well, who's the heavyweight champion? The guy said, they don't know. I said, would you expect Muhammad Ali to come back and become a champion? So that's what I was saying about myself. I didn't know I have to exert my energy again. I thought that the work we done in the past, I thought I'd be sitting back just watching. But now it's like starting all over again. So I got to take my vitamins and.
Right.
But we've been blessed, truly blessed. Like I said, we just celebrated our 59th wedding anniversary, and I've always wanted to grow old and in love, right, sweetheart? He's a little.
He's taking the vitamins.
But you remember, in the first experience that we call the first experience, you didn't show affection publicly. You didn't smooth you. You didn't do anything like that. So sometimes he's driving. He might not want me to say this, and I'll put my hand on. He put his hand on the thing. What's that in the middle? The seat in the middle. The divider, whatever it is.
Center console.
Yeah, and I put my hand on top of his, and he move it. But trust me, it's only because of that experience that He doesn't.
And he
enjoy it.
drive it.
Right, right. There you go.
You can have the wheel in the cockpit. I tell him don't mess with the radio, don't mess with the engine. When I'm in the cockpit, I control all this.
I'm just trying to follow the law. They say, don't drive while texting.
That's too much information.
Okay, so again, thank you. We're gonna close out. Imam, you don't open for us, and we're gonna ask you to please.
Would your husband do it?
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Ya Allah, we thank you, Almighty Allah, for bestowing your blessing upon us, that we come in with ideas and concepts that will kind of further elevate us, purify our soul, and energize our body so that we can get on the launching pad and do greater work and starting all over again and constantly bringing about the message of Imam Mohammed to the whole of humanity. Amen.
Oh, that was funny.
I tell y'all what,